So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're going to take a quick look at Zymos, or Zymos, one of those two, which is a brand new secondary pistol that was released with Heart of Deimos. Now if you want to get your hands on this puppy, it is pretty straightforward. You need to be at least the rank of Stranger or higher with the Entrati, and then you can buy all the parts from the father. So first up we have the blueprint for the barrel for 1000 standing, and then you just need a couple of resources to put it together. Then there's the actual blueprint for the weapon, which is 2000 standing, 1 barrel, 1 receiver, and a few credits. And finally we have the blueprint for the receiver, which is also 1000 standing, and then just a couple of resources once again. The Zymos is a Mastery Rank 11 semi-automatic explosive pistol that does 23 damage with the actual projectile, 13.8 out of which is puncture and 9.2 is impact. But there is also an explosion that happens with a radius of 3.3 meters and 30% damage fall off that does 61 toxin damage. The weapon also comes with a very low 5% crit chance, a slightly above average 2.3 times crit multiplier, somewhat slow-ish fire rate of 1.33 rounds per second. It has 9 shots in the magazine with 27 spare rounds. It has a pretty lengthy reload time of 3.2 seconds and a nice status chance of 30%. The most interesting thing about this weapon by far is the way it works. So firstly, it is an explosive weapon, so if you get hit by the explosion, you will get staggered. Secondly, this weapon is designed for headshots. If you body shot with it, it won't do a damn thing. However, if you headshot with the weapon, the parasites the weapon fires will bury into the enemy's head and explode, dealing significantly more AoE damage, and it also sends out projectiles that will home in on nearby enemies and damage them as well. The one thing to bear in mind here is that the parasite explosion, when they bury into the enemy's head, is an explosion, so if you stand too close, you're gonna get staggered as well. So overall, a pretty interesting set of mechanics. Now in the end, I ended up going with a one Forma build where I just added a V, and I'm running Battle Diffusion for the multi-shot, Aletha Torrent for fire rate and multi-shot, Frostbite and Pistol Pestilence for the viral damage and status chance, Scorch for heat damage and status chance, and then I also slapped on pistol ammo mutation. Now this doesn't need to be ranked up at all, you can keep it at rank 1 if that's what you want to do. I just had the spare points to use a higher ranked one because it's not there to really help sustain ammo, but to help with the small ammo reserve. It's not a massive problem, but every now and then if I didn't have any mutation, I would just randomly run out of ammo. So this helps remove that problem completely. But moving on from there, we have Hornet Strike for damage, then Ogre Pact for even more damage. I was thinking about going with Primed Heated Charge, but I didn't want to have the heat procs overtake the viral procs, and I topped it off with Stunning Speed for some reload speed because 3.2 seconds on a 9-round magazine is a no bueno, and it also adds a little bit of status as well. Moving on to performance, and by the way, I did try multiple different builds, and the viral build seemed to perform the best out of all of them, with the second best one simply being corrosive and heat. This is where the weapon kind of disappoints because, as I've said already, the body shots do kind of bugger all, and even the headshots, which aren't the easiest thing to land with this weapon because the accuracy isn't the best, the shots spread out quite a bit, and the weapon also has travel time on its bullets, don't do as much as I would expect them to on a weapon that has as many drawbacks as this one. It does perform much better versus the infestation if you manage to headshot the enemies, which can sometimes be difficult given the nature of the faction, and it's pretty decent for the corpus as well because of the way it works, where if you have enough damage and the enemy doesn't have a ton of shields, the initial shots might knock off their shields and trigger shield gating, and the follow-up explosion then kills them. Man, this weapon is just... I really want to like it. Like, I like the idea of the weapon, I like the way it works, it's just super cool, but it unfortunately just has far too many drawbacks for me. I mean, the small ammo reserve is just irritating because you have to run ammo mutation, otherwise, as I've said, you're just gonna randomly run out of ammo mid-mission. Then there is the 3.2 second reload on a 9-round magazine, which for some people might not be a big deal, but for me, I absolutely have to run a reload mod, which takes out one of the damage mods. Then there's the fact that the body shots do pitiful damage on anything above level like 20 or 30 even with a full build, which means you have to rely on headshots to do at least decent damage, which is kind of difficult with a weapon that has projectile travel time. And then this final rotten cherry on top of a sad cake that someone sat on top of, the accuracy, it's not that it's bad, it's just super inconsistent. Sometimes you fire the weapon and the projectiles are nicely clustered together, other times they just fly all over the place, so if you're firing at something that's like 20 or more meters away, most of your projectiles will miss, especially if you're aiming for the enemy's head, which is kind of what you need to do to get damage out of this thing. Now, I understand that weapons need some kind of a drawback, right? Not every weapon can be amazing in every way, shape or form, but this is just a little bit too much. However, the weapon is also cheap as chips, so there's not really a reason to not recommend it because you can just pick it up, try it out, and maybe if you're better at headshotting or you just don't mind some of the drawbacks as much as I I do, you're gonna have fun with it. So I'm not giving it a thumbs up, I'm not giving it a thumbs down, it's sort of a non-committal meh. Try it out, see if you like it, and that's pretty much it. So I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.